Hey everybody, got something different, interesting, and hopefully super cool for us to look at. You can kind of see from the packaging here, we have a UST short throw from VAVA. This was sent in by somebody who found me on Reddit, and we were talking about it, and he sent it in because he couldn't find anybody locally to work on it, and I'm going to see what I can find. So let me get it out of the wrapping and get it on the bench. Here we go. Have it out of the box. It's pretty big. It's a lot larger than I expected. But I guess they kind of need all that with the power supplies and everything inside. So if I remember correctly, the issue was it would start to come on and then it would shut right off. Let's look at the back here. We have LAN, SPDIF, AV input, audio output, 3 HDMIs, USB, and then power. So let's get that ready, but I'm going to spin it a little bit. I don't want the lasers pointing at my face. I've got a thing about, you know, having lasers in my eyeballs. My eyeballs don't like them. Now, I don't even know if they're going to come on, but let's just give it a and see what happens. So we have standby. There we go. Now it's trying. Nothing. Nothing. See, I think it thinks it's on right now. Yep, nothing. And then it goes into shutdown. So I've seen some other stuff online from folks who have worked on similar projectors, and there was a power connector that had been problematic. We're going to have to look at that too. That fabric kind of came up a little bit there. So it looks to me that we have screws all underneath. I want to get a fresh piece of cardboard though to put under that. So it looks like they have little rubber bungs. Yep. These guys. And all of the screw holes. I don't know why they do that. It doesn't really improve the quality. It just adds to the cost. But whatever. Probably just to make it look good. And we're going to take our time opening this because I'll make sure I get it right. Alright, let's get some screws. I think these are Phillips. Let's see. No. Torx maybe. Let me just see what we got in there. Oh no. Just larger Phillips. I thought they were going to be smaller. Let's go with the number 2. Oh yeah. There we go. They look like BenQ screws. Helical thread, about a 1/2 inch long, roughly. I forget how many millimeters that is. 12.5 or 12 point, what is it? 12.27. Come on. There we are. Oh. Okay. Got a longer one here. I gotta get something to write on. So what we're going to do, I'm going to draw a quick map. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So these guys are short, then long, short, long, short, short, long, long, and, oh, pardon me, and missing, but probably short. Unless I already pulled it out and didn't notice, which is entirely possible because I'm moving a little fast. Okay, so I was just checking, make sure all those are out. So there's a few here. And those, let's see, so we have a little square thing. Alright, so I have my little map, shows where all the screws go. We'll keep that. Now all the screws should be out. I don't see anything else. Alright, yep, and the top feels loose. Let's see, and get this in a good spot. Alright, so that pops off. Good to know, so that's gonna back in there. And I see a missing screw here. Just put a mark on there so I remember that. And I'll find a screw for that. That's no big deal. That's just like a normal screw. There we go. Top comes up. Unplug that wire to the power button. And then the wire to, I guess that's an IR sensor there. Right there. There's the inside of the casing. Not bad. Polycarbonate. If you're one of those folks that ever want to replace the fabric, that's how you can do it. So let's see. He was in here looking around by the looks of things, which is fine. I encourage everybody to try and look at their own gear. I think this is the area where we want to focus. See, we have a lot of connections here. ALPD. You're going to peel that off. I have more of this stuff, so we'll replace that when we put it back together. Get all that off. Wi-Fi antennas, lens and whatnot. That's pretty good. Yeah, let's get this top shield off. So I'm still leaning towards a power problem. Bad connector, bad connection. So we have a lot of evidence of heat. Something I always worry about with these is they cram everything in here, and you can see all the heat sinks. Yeah, these are all the laser source stuff, all those heat sinks. So there's a lot of heat. And let's see if anything sticks out. I see we have voltages listed on the board down here. That's good. That'll be helpful. A flat flex. Those are DLP control chips. So under here must be the TI stuff. Let's see. This should just lift up. Let's. Crap. Alright, so that's essentially the main board. Nothing obvious there. What we're looking for is power problems. I'm going to look for power supply connectors that may have gotten too hot. And if nothing sticks out visually, we will put the board back in and fire it up and start checking voltages. Wi-Fi. Appotronics. That must be who makes this. Megmeet. That looks okay. See, one of the folks I spoke to suggested checking this connector down here. Come on, a little more. There we go. Oh no, no burning. Okay. What I'm worried about is that it's one of the laser sources, and if that's the case, this thing's toast. Alright, let's get this out. Those wires are unplugged. A couple Wi-Fi. So this is an input board. Yeah, I see a DMD controller down inside there. So you can see it better from this angle. Oh. Set that off to the side. Put the other main board with it. This is what I wanted to look at. This is the power and driver for everything. There's our DMD data, controls, and I guess the power to the laser is going to be here. Well, looks like it's going over to there. It's curious, that looks like it says bad on it, but that looks fine. I think we're going to have to start checking voltages. I think that's going to be the way to go. So let me regroup, get things set back up, and we'll start checking voltages. Alright, so we're back on the VAVA that stopped working, and I decided to do a really just kind of go over it with a fine-tooth comb because nothing makes sense as to why it's failing. Then I saw this wire right here. You guys can't see that. Now you can see it. See that? So whoever the last shop was, maybe the owner will post that on the channel. I'm not going to say who they were, but the last shop looks like they put a screw clean through that wire and they broke at least one conductor, possibly three. Let's see what we got here. So it's pin 3. So let's go to pin 2. Let's see, make sure I'm holding it the right way. Yep. All right. Pin 2. Now let's see. Alright, that pin's good. Let's go to 4. Alright, 4 is good, so it looks like I just put a screw through pin 3. Yep. Alright. So let me pull some of the slack back. I don't want to take that wire all the way out. I'm going to jumper and tape this. Alright, so I took out the mounting screws that hold all this in place. Because I want to take that wire out, I need to resolder it. And I also want to take a look at the laser source here. And the rest of the wiring. So let's gently and carefully get all this stuff free. Interesting. See that? Probably not. That right there. That looks like a burn mark. I wonder what hit there. Let's see. Alright, so here, come on, focus. There we are. So I split the wire up, and then I cut and stripped those, and now I'm going to add just tiny jumpers, solder them together, then tape it up. Okay, so that is taped up. It's black Kapton tape, so it should hold up fine. That'll go back in. And here is the laser module that I removed. It was made by Apotronics. There's the part number. I made that part too, it looks like. The DMD is going to be in here. Our power for the laser source is here. And then I don't know what that board does. But that board does something and it's there. And there's some kind of color wheel or phosphor wheel or something. I don't know if this is an RGB laser or a a white laser of some sort. Let's take a look actually. Let's take that screw and that one. There's a light tunnel. Okay. Got a light tunnel there and it looks purple when I look through it, and I don't know why. Let's put that back on to keep the dust out. Then we'll pull that cover off. Alright, optics. Okay, so a lot of optics. Looks like a UV source here. You can kind of see the array in there. And then another source here. So we have this one, and oh boy, unless they're doing a couple colors out of there, which I guess is possible. I don't know, I have to do some more research into this, but I definitely see something here, and the way this all wraps around. That's just interesting. Alright, so here's that source close up. It has a thermistor. And that's glued on top. So we'll check that with the meter. Let's see if there's anything else we can see. This must be some other sort of source. It's just weird that the way that's set up. Maybe it's a white LED? No. Alright, they all measure about 8.2 meg, which is probably right. Alright, so they're good. So that's probably fine. Let's put it back in. Okay, so we're ready to do some power powered testing. If everything plugged back in, we have our power button. I have this wire plugged back in, which I think goes to a phosphor wheel maybe, or a color wheel. Not sure which. We'll find out. But I want to see if it's doing anything. So I'm going to use this for a ground. And let's turn the light on so you guys can see it. So let's see if this wheel is getting any power. See, what's weird is I don't hear it when I see that. The way it's going on and off is weird. It is weird. Let's see, do we have power to the laser? Yep, there's power to the laser. Alright, let's see what we get on this cable here. Let's go to ohms. It's almost acting like, I don't know, something's shorted. I know that, I just don't know what or where. Ew. One point two. 1.2, 0. Got it from this side. Now, I don't know if this is a color wheel specifically or if it's a phosphor wheel, but either way, that seems awfully low. Alright, let's see what that goes to. Alright, so I got those screws out. Oh yeah. Integrator. Light tunnel or color wheel sensor. Don't know what that is. Oh, NTC, it's a thermistor. So it's got a thermistor, the color wheel sensor. Wow, okay. Unless that's a filter, maybe. See? Red and green and white, but it doesn't want to spin. I don't know if it's supposed to be like that or what. If the hub's jammed. I don't want to take that out. But that's not turning. Okay, let's see how that comes out. Okay, so let's take out that screw and this screw. That should get the cover out of the way, so hopefully I can see what's behind it. This thing just doesn't want to move. It's on a hub. I think that's probably the issue. Well, alright, so I took that cover off again where the optics are. I want to see if there's any. Yep. You guys can't quite see it, but right there. So that, will that give me access? Yes, it will. Ah, I see. I'm starting to understand. Yep. Now that's where we're going. Alright, so I don't have an Allen Allen hex key that'll fit in there all the way. So they're all too short, they don't quite reach. So I'll just put this one in there. And then once it breaks loose, alright, so I cheated. I took a piece of glass out. It's not an adjusted piece of glass, so it should just be fine to drop right back in. But now I can actually get my hand in here and spin this little thing. And I put this back together. I'm going to use a longer nut driver that I have at home. I found the problem. Alright, let's put this back in first before I forget. And let's put that back in so that we don't put it in the wrong place. You guys will see in a second if you can't see it already. Let me just put this back in. So here's the combo wheel out of that VAVA 4K laser UST. It's the same as the X-Jimmy and a few others. It's made by Appatronics. The motor is seized. It's not rotating. And this particular part is proving very difficult to find. So what I'd like to try and do is see if we can get it apart. And then maybe we can get it working again. So to get it apart, what I want to try doing is just kind of spinning it back and forth. So I put the screws back in on the back here. I'm going to see if we can do that. Until we get it to loosen up. A little bit. Yeah, I couldn't do that by hand before. Hey. The thing I'm worried about is that the coils melted because I was getting shorts. I was checking this, I was getting like 0 ohms. And if we can get it spinning, we might be able to get it apart. Trying. There's a spot. Wonder if we can. I do like how they balance it with those 2 little pieces of copper wire and some glue. Getting there. Alright, I'm going to keep spinning this by hand. I'll be back. And through the magic of video editing, we are back a few weeks later. This is the old Phosphor Wheel. Kind of turn it. I sort of got it to loosen up, but it's shot. And then I tried prying, and I guess I flexed this part too much, and that cracked, so that's shot. But I was able to get a new one. The owner and I worked together on trying to find a source, and he was able to locate a source for parts, so now I have a way to get replacement phosphor wheels for these, which is great because VAVA and Appatronics will not sell these. They want you to send the whole thing to the factory and have them fix it. So let's just look here and make sure the colors are the same. They are. Everything looks the same. So that's great. So this has to be installed next. So I'm just going to gently roll that back up, set it over here, and we're going to get the laser module out. It should be this piece, and then this piece. This is the DMD unit. This gets put on after we install the phosphor wheel. You can see that sensor there. That's the index mark. and then that's a thermistor that tells the projector the temperature of the phosphor wheel. So integrator, index sensor, temperature sensor. That'll go on later. That'll be after all this is finished. This is where we have to put it in here. It's going to sit down there. You can even see it has a little mark. So let's see. Actually, I noticed a little burn mark right there. What would that have been? Let's see. That goes here. So that puts the burn mark. It might just be a rust spot. I thought it was here, but it must just be a rust spot. It's just odd. Or, oh, you know what it might have been? The folks that had it before me damaged that wire. I wonder if that wire hit down there. Whatever. Not worried about it. This is where we have to be now. Inside there. So let me move the camera. Alright, so we have 3 2mm cap head, hex screws to put in that came out. So they're going to go right up through there. But what we'll do, I'm going to set the color wheel in there first so that we can have something to screw into. So very carefully, in fact, I'm just going to tear the bag open. And gently hold it by the hub. Oh, that feels so much better. That just feels the spin, the bearings feel infinitely better. So I'm just going to reach up and line up that. Oh, not quite. I'm trying to do it so you guys can see it. It makes it a little difficult. Let's try it again. Alright, there's one. I'll just show you what I mean by, see, it just spins. It's not, so let's put the other two in. There's one, there's two, and there's three. I'm actually going to do these off camera because where I am, where the camera is, it's a little out of the way. So One moment. Alright, so the last fastener is in. I did have to take that lens out. This lens here. And it's flat side in, curved side that way. And then the bracket. Alright, that's better. That's going to go on, and that's going to go on the outside. I guess we'll figure it out. So we're figuring it out. We're doing pretty good. I have the wire run through here, and then let's see, how does that work? We have this piece that the wire is going to come out of it. And looking at the mechanism, I think I see how, but I think we're going to put that optical assembly on first. There we go. Let's get some screws. Okay. Let's get a couple on this side. Got a couple screws that are different sizes. Those guys, so I need to go through and sort these a little bit. Let's see. Those are the long ones. Another long one. Medium one. So I need 1, 2, 3. Alright, good. So that adds up. So it is these guys. Those are in. Alright, so the wire goes through this piece, out through there, and then out the bottom. So it's going to go this way. And let's pull it through. Yep, that'll work. Is that one of these? Oh, wrong screwdriver. And that will keep the wire from moving. Now it's snug. And that'll go around to the driver, and then it'll have light. So this should be ready. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this can go back in now. Okay. Now I can actually stand in front of it. So let's see, underneath we just have that one. Everything else is on top. So let's get our laser power plugged in right there. And we rotate it over. That's going to be up here. That's down. Yeah, this will all go back together. And this is going to end up over here, so we'll do that later. This goes here. Yeah, that was the screw they put through that one right there. Alright, that goes to the front. That's going to go over here. These go here. Alright, let's get some screws and here on either side of the optics. I think that's these guys. Because it has the rubber washer grommet thing. Yeah. And there's only 2 of them. Alright. Those are all in. So now let's get the mainboard reattached. And then once we do that, we can plug wires in and hopefully fire it up. So let's see, that's going to go there with that. So that will be this wire. Come on, line up. No. Alright, helical screw time. Alright, that is all of the mainboard screws holding it to the chassis. Connect wires and then put the top cover on. Alright, those are plugged in. Alright, let's see. So it went like this. So that's what they did. They went that way. So that. That way. Alright, that'll be good enough for testing. Got that plugged in. We'll clean up the wire once I see everything run. Then let's get this plug back in. Oh, no, it goes down there. Alright. Now, this is a little tough to get all in here, but let's move some of those other wires out of the way, and then get these plugged back in. There we are. Okay. Alright, so we have front connector, other wires are all plugged in. I got the screws in around the side. We are going to have to replace some of that shielding tape, but I think we can test it now. Let's spin it around. Let me get a power cord. There we go. Let's see, yeah, you guys should be able to see it now, just shining on the wall, so it's not like, you know, proper, I guess you could say. But let's see. I got a fan. I hear the wheel spinning up. Hey. Check that out. Fan anomaly. So what fan did I miss? That's fine. We'll find what fan I missed. Alright, so we're going to try going right to the scope. This VAVA should be working, but it is throwing a fan error. So I'm suspicious about this cable, but I figured let's just go right to the fans first. So we'll go to that one and that one. And then I have down here that pin probably. Alright, let's go. Fire it up. That one's good. This one. See, we have 47 hertz. But nothing. And that we should have. Let's see, we got that one. So that's good. Yeah, this wire. That one. That's a problem. We'll try it one more time. Just to confirm. So there's our RPM. Fan speed, I think. RPM, no good. Fan speed. Yeah. So it's this one. That's a problem. But what we'll do is we'll let it turn off. And I'm going to switch those wires and see if that makes any difference. Just to make sure the problem follows. If the problem follows the fan, then we know the problem's in the fan. If the problem stays here, then we know it's in the connection or something like that. So let me pull the plug, because you never want to move these with it plugged in. I'll just switch them. So it looks like it followed. It did follow. Yep. So that's the problem, is that particular fan. That's why we're getting that fan lock error. Alright, so I took those two screws out. Let me peel this tape off. I'm going to replace all of this tape. There we go. Oh! That's interesting. Why is there electrical tape under there? I wonder if VAVA did that? That's weird. There we go. Let's check the wire. I've got a... I don't know if you guys can really see that. It's got a pinch. Right here. I don't know if that's necessarily the problem. Maybe. Let's see, can we get this sticker to peel back? What I want to do is check. Oh! There's our problem. There's your problem, lady. So let me go solder that. Much better. Much, much better. So let's put this back in. sure we got it. Let's put this on. I guess that's for vibration. Construction of this thing is just very interesting. The way they, you know, the way they sort of cram everything in is just curious. Alright, so we'll put that back there. And let's set this back on. That. Right. This one. So let's get power again. And let's hook her up and see what happens. Let's see what we get. So it should be this one. Oh. I guess it helps if I'm on the right settings. Look at that. Look at that. And do we get a fan lock error? Any fan lock error? No, it is happy. Excuse the awkward angle. It's just shining up on the ceiling and the screen over there. So you get the idea. But no fan lock error. Everything seems happy. I think we're good. So at this point, I'm going to let it run for a little while. Move that out of the way. And make sure it doesn't overheat or any of that. And then if it runs for about an hour, we're going to put it back together. You know, replace the all of those RF shielding tape that we're going to replace. We'll put that in. And yeah, this is great. So I'll be right back after this is tested, and we'll start putting it back together. All right, so this is good. I am really happy with how this ended up. There was a definite chance of it being a huge problem, but between myself and the owner, we were able to, well, I really got to give him credit. The owner of this projector located the source for parts. So if I do any repairs on these in the future, we have to retroactively thank him, because without him I probably would not have a part source this quickly. I don't really always have the time to put the effort into finding all the parts in a expeditious manner. I mean, I do what I can, but again, I got a full-time job and da-da-da-da-da. But whatever. The end result is that we can get parts for these, or most parts for these now. So this one, let me unplug the power button, because that needs to go back into the casing. We need to get this all buttoned back up, and one of the important things we need to do is replace the missing tape that helps the RF noise be suppressed. Do we really need it? I don't know. I have definitely not reinstalled it and things, and they've been fine, but I figure the better you can put it back to original, or the more original it can be when you're finished, the better. So I bought some of this stuff. It's metallized fabric tape. It's got a backing. You peel that off and it sticks down. So we'll need a piece here and a piece there. I appreciate that it's not stuck to itself. That would probably be an issue. Let's see, so we got that piece. Let's see, and that'll go there. So then we'll cut that. And that, oh, you guys really, I gotta get a focus or line that shot up a little better. So that'll go there. And then we need to connect that to there. I'm just marking those with a Sharpie so that I can cut a couple pieces off all at once. You could, you know, do it however you want, cut them one at a time. That one will go there. And then that'll go here. This will go here. We'll do that as well. So let's see. Yeah. And then that should do it. I think that's, let's see, any of this, no, that looks alright. Yeah, I think that'll do it. I don't see any other places where I pulled any up. The, you know, I am going to do, though, I had to tear that foam tape to get that apart, so maybe we'll put some there too. Just to help reinforce that foam. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Alright, so let's just roll that back up and tape it back down. And let's do some tape. Get that backing loose. Come on. That is not coming up. I split the backing instead of separating it. There we go. All right, one. There's those two. Alright, so then this one protects the, I guess, links the DMD to the rest of it so that that's all connected. Alright, so put this here. Now there was not shielding tape here before. It was that foam tape. But this will help pull that foam tape together. It'll actually help direct the air through here a little better too, I think. They're the same, I shouldn't say better. It'll be directed the same. That's the point. This fan blows through that heat sink there. And now the final bit of shielding is to get that color wheel wire protected. Now the old one, they had it wrapped around. I'm not quite sure how I feel about that. I think what we're going to do is just cover it and protect it. Yeah, let's see, can I do it this way? Let's see if I do it that way. Alright, so let's see. This is going to be tough. What I'm going to try to do is I trimmed this in a way that I'm going to try to wrap it around the wire so that it holds its shape. Alright, let's see. Okay, not bad, not bad. And then we'll put that, and then that will have it all protected. Come on. All right, I like that. Let's see, I have one little piece here. Maybe we'll just to kind of use this piece up and make sure that color wheel, phosphor wheel wire is fully protected and not going to get pushed anywhere. The other thing we have to watch out for is this area where that is, because we want to make sure no wires get over top of that. That's where that other wire was that got the screw through it. This is where the power switch goes. Right there. That's our back panel. Okay, just making sure those are the right screws. Pretty sure they were. There's only a handful of very small screws. Oh, come on. that's the, it's going to go this way. Yeah. And then that'll get over to the, oh, wait a minute, this way. Because there's the other wire for the infrared thing for the top. Alright, so that's in. Let's get ready to put the top back on. Alright, so we're going to put the top cover on. Not bad. Alright, let me get a piece of cardboard so I can flip it over. I don't want to lay this on this cardboard. Alright, yeah, so those do go behind it. These must be what lock it in. Yeah, that feels pretty good. Looks good. Alright, so now we just got to test it. That's pretty cool. Alright, I have it downloading the new firmware, so it'll be nice and up to date. Let's see, can you guys actually see that? Yeah, you can. So I'm going to put the firmware in. Looks good. Oops. Oh, wait a minute. Got some dust spots. Definitely got some dust spots. I might actually have to pull that top back off and clean it. But let's, I'm going to let it run the firmware update, and yeah, I'm going to probably have to open it up and clean it. Come on. There we go. Alright, I'm going to let it run and do its firmware update. See, downloading. We'll let it go there, and then I'll check back. After I run it for an hour or two, I'll shut it down and I'll open it back up and we'll clean that dust out of it. So here's the problem with the spots. I didn't realize it, but this whole opening here is, well, open. I thought there was another piece of glass there, not, you know, like that. So there's dust all inside on that mirror. The other thing I noticed, lens adjustments, focus and zoom. So it's possible, I think, if you take the top off of one of these, that you could refocus and re-aim it, or re-zoom it, depending on your screen or wall or whatever. I'm not going to mess with it because the fellow who owns this needs it that way, but if you have one and you want to see if you can make it fit on your wall differently, here's your adjustments. It looks like you just loosen that screw up. Yeah, and then you can adjust it, but again, I'm not touching it. I just want to get the dust out. Almost. I'll keep that covered while I'm working on it. Alright, next thing, you need to peel this back. And we need to disconnect the DLP connectors here. There's 4 of them. You should be able to get them by hand. Just squeeze and push back. They should pop out. And this last one, because I can't get my finger on the other side, do it with this side with the, there we go, with the tool. Then, underneath the color wheel, there's this wire. I actually want to get in here and fix this wire a little better. It's taped up, but I just want to make sure it's solid. This was the wire the last company put the screw through. So I do have the lens assembly covered with a Kim wipe. It's kind of stuffed in there a little bit, stuffed in there a little more just to keep all that dust out. Then there's a handful of screws that we're going to remove, and that will expose the it'll release this assembly. So we have one here. You guys probably couldn't see that right here. And then right here. And then there's one back here. That's it for the long machine thread screws. Then there's a pair of these like washer head. These guys, they go on either side of the lens assembly. Now we'll get that out. But now, let's see, is this all loose? Yeah. So then this just comes right up. Now there's a wire. There's a couple wires actually. Don't want anything to get caught. Oh, I got this one. That's got to come out. Temperature sensor. And then we have power to the laser right here. Alright, so in here, this is where we replace the color wheel. In here, you can see the wire is taped to this part and it goes in through there. I'm going to leave that bracket on, but we're going to unscrew this top half because I want to make sure that's all really clean, because it did sit open for, I don't know, like 2 weeks I guess, while we waited for the week and a half. It was open for a period of time while we located and sourced the color wheel, or phosphor wheel, whatever you want to call it. The phosphor color wheel. That one. And then last but not least should be this one. Keep your hand on it. It should hold, but you don't want it to like just fall off. So there we go, that comes up. Set that down. And then the other thing I meant to do is this actually needs to go back on. Holds the wire down out of the way. Almost forgot to put that back in. That's the other reason I wanted to get in here. It doesn't need to be there, but let's be honest, it definitely helps. I can also kind of straighten up the way this wire is routed too. Just loosen this up. Alright. That goes underneath. And then, oh dang it, I had a screw slip out of my hand. I'm going to have to look around for that. Tighten that down. There we go. Tight and tight. It's our phosphor wheel. It's happy. Let's get the blow that off. And this side I know is good because that was protected. So we're going to set that cover back on. Just like that. Keep my finger on it. Let's get one screw in. Let's put, let's see. You guys can't really see. Go to there. There we go. Just get one screw in to snug it up so that it doesn't fall apart. Alright, let me get this one. If you start to hear a lot of, I don't know, maybe it sounds like rain to you guys, but it just started raining here, so I have a metal roof here, so it's going to be a little loud probably. And so I apologize ahead of time if that gets annoying. Move these over here. Let's get this one. Okay, that side's good. Go back to this side, and we have two more screws, and then we can set this back into the projector. Oh, way to get that other screw. Oh crud, I just dropped one. These are the last of my current batch of gloves. I don't really like them. I got to get a better set of gloves. I mean, they're nitrile, but they were kind of cheap. So before we actually plug that back in, I'll take a reading on that just so we have a known good resistance. So before we even get to there, I want to make sure, let's set this, how do I want to do this? I'm going to set this down without pushing on those. Yeah, I don't want to push on those cables. Holy mackerel, that's loud. I want to make sure this is clean. So what we will do, can I set it this way? Yeah, okay, good. That's not going to fall over. So what we're going to do is zoom out a little bit. I guess I'm zoomed out all the way. Take these 4 screws out as I bang the camera. We'll pop this off and clean it. Alright, one more. Just going to keep my hand on this in case it decides to take off by itself. Oh, thunder. Hope power doesn't go out. There's the DMD. There's our DMD in there. You kind of see it looking back at us. I don't see any dust in there, so that's good. I'm going to set this down so that we don't get dust in it. That looks good too, no dust. So this, let's get this right back together. The dust must be in the front section. Holy, that rain. You guys hear that? You have to, because I can barely hear myself talk over it. Hail. Man. I'm kind of enjoying working on these. It's a different, it's different, it's new, interesting. The more different and new it is, the more interesting it is. There we go. Snug these all down. Yep, they feel good. Not going anywhere. Alright. Alright, let's see if we can get this in. Set that over there. drag those there. And let's get our laser power connected. Oh yeah. So this then sticks to there. The cables come down. There we go. Sits right down there. Now let's put these guys in first, because we're right here. I don't think it really matters what order they go in. Let's see, and then this wire, oops. Go. Okay. Alright, those are in. So that unit's back in. You'll notice I still have the Kim wipes stuffed in the lens to keep dust from dropping in. You can see just like random dust. Alright, so let's get the wires plugged back in. Let's see, let's move you guys in so you can see it a little better. There we go. So this wire goes here. There we are. And we have this wire. Unlatch that. Are. That's locked in. That's good. Now these guys, you can kind of use the springiness of the wire to your advantage for trying to line these back up, because it's a pain. Once they line up, they drop right in, but getting to that point's a little difficult. Top's easy, obviously. And I just use the connectors on the top to give me a visual to where these are supposed to go on the bottom. And you'll feel them line up. Come on. Whoop. There we go, that one, and then lastly this one. Okay, so that's good. We'll do new tape. We are going to reuse this. Will it stick down? Yeah, alright, that's good. So I will reuse this, but I will also add some fresh tape to help make sure it's connected. Alright, those are in. That's okay, so everything except for this. So this wire, the one with the capped on tape, make sure you guys, yeah, that goes right here. There we go. So let me tuck that back down here so it's safe and out of the way. Not going to get a screw through it, nope. Alright, so let's get the multimeter. Let's measure the resistance on this, and then we can put the top back on. So let's see. Let's see what side's common. Usually there's one wire that's common, and then 3 that feed into it. So I have about 1 ohm, 1.2, come on, 1.2. So that's a pretty low resistance for a color wheel. It's surprising. Let's see if I go from here, 1, got 0.8, 0.8. So these are like very low. Okay. Yeah, that's a very low resistance. So you should get about 1 ohm, it seems like, on those coils. And between me and you, that's going to put a heck of a load on the driver chip. So I wonder if that's why the original one failed. I don't know. Doesn't matter at this point because it works. It might have been something else too. It's just curious. But let's get that wire plug back in. And this is always fun, especially when I'm trying to do it on camera. Now, luckily they have this handy little handle, so I can just kind of line the wire up and make sure it's in all the way. There we go. That's in, and let's put some tape on it. Alright, first tape is replace that piece that I took off after I cut the foam. Oh man, get these started. I wish they gave you like a little tab, some better tape with a backing. Usually has like an edge that you can start it. I just find you just start messing with a corner. Like that. See, I just kind of grab it and pull, and there we go. There's got to be a better way to do that. Let's see. So let's put that there. There we go. And that'll help that ducted fan feed through that heatsink better. Man, that rain. And then we'll put another piece here that'll cover the color wheel wire and help protect that. So let's see if I can do the same thing. We'll just grab a corner and tear. Oh, that worked. Not bad. Alright, let's see. So that will sit here. And then that also helps retape that big piece that I pulled up. There we go. So the color wheel's protected. Let's do this piece. See if I can do it without tearing it. Nope. Ah, come on. There we go. Alright, and then, let's see, I got this. Oh, that was just an extra. And then we're going to put a piece here. And then that should have everything protected. and then we can start, then I can put the top back on. See? Nice and taped. Maybe we'll put a piece here too. Just to help direct that airflow. Since I have it cut and I can't really use it for anything else. Go. That paper backing. That rain is so loud. Alright, now we can put the cover back on. I'm going to leave that in there till right before we set it on. So let me grab the cover, I'll be right back. So we got the top. Let's get our IR wire. So let me set it on top of the speakers. Plug in our IR wire, and then we have our main power button. It goes here. Come on. There we go. And let's see that. Does that go behind? No. It's going to go there. Just make sure it stays here because this is the main lens. Pull that out. Just wipe that back side off a little bit. Beautiful. So we're going to flip this over. And I'm going to hold a piece of cardboard on it so that we don't scratch that plastic. The only problem, I think, with black gear is that it tends to show problems. Oh, that's not sitting right. Can I lift here just a little bit? Nope. Come on. Right here, pushing. It looks okay. It feels okay. Just wasn't. There we go. All right, that's what I wanted to feel. All right, beautiful. So we're going to put a few screws back in first, just the long ones, and then I'm going to fire it up and make sure that there's no issues. So let's see, long, 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 and long. All right, and my screwdriver. funny, this particular screwdriver I've had for a very long time. It's not a very good one. Baco, B-A-H-C-O, but it's very, oh, wrong button, wrong hole. It's very useful. Like, it has a really good bite, and it's very comfortable, but it was really cheap. It's like from Big Lots or something. And this one felt kind of funny. Make sure I have it in straight. Or I wonder if maybe the plastic threads are chewy. Let's see. Yeah, the threads are a little chewy, but it bottomed out there, so we're good. Alright, we're going to go and fire this up and see how it looks. Alright, there we go. So I still got a little spot. Oh, is that on the top? It's still got some. But once it's, yeah, see, I got a little. That looks like it's on the underside. Had to force it into protection mode. But if we look, well, not at the floor. If we look at the lens, you can see those. So that's on the underside of this, of the lid. So that's good. So I got to pop those 2 screws out, or 4 screws out, and we'll fix that. So turn it off, and let's go and clean that. So I went to put this back on. I already put the screws back in. I already showed you guys that, depending on how I edited this. But I realized that this was torn off, and it wasn't supposed to be. There used to be things here for holding screws, and they're torn off. So I went to just kind of stick it back on. I mean, it goes, but it's going to bow out in the middle. It's not great. It pops off real easy. So I was thinking about double-sided tape. I have, you know, a bunch of that 3M stuff. I think what I'm going to try, though, is just a tiny, tiny bit of gap-filling super glue. Yeah, this stuff's pretty good. Because it's thicker. So I think what we'll do is I'm going to put a little bit on that pin. It's a little more than I wanted. It's actually a lot more than I wanted. There we go. So I got some on that pin, and I think I'll be able to just hold it right here. I don't want to put too much in case anybody has to, or somebody has to take that off again. It'll just be in that middle, so that'll keep it from bowing out. And then we can put these end clips in. That'll smooth it out. Yeah, see, it's trying to pull out, so let me just keep my hand on it. Alright, I'll meet you guys back over there after this sets up. Alright, so it's working. Let me see if I can get you guys a better vantage point. I drug my screen over. There's the projector. It's just a normal movie screen. It's not a proper ALR screen or anything. But the picture looks great. The colors are just right. They match exactly what's on my laptop. This is just a video that runs in the background. I do see seriously the first VAVA laser or ALPD projector I've ever worked on. I've worked on other lasers, but usually the RGB LED laser diode hybrid type. This is the first ALPD type I've ever worked on. First VAVA I've ever worked on. So we got to learn it together. And I'm sure if I work on more of them, I'll pick up more things that I don't know, and probably see stuff that I did on this one that I'll question why I did it. You know, it's kind of how it goes sometimes. But yeah, if you have any questions about a VAVA projector, one of the ultra short throw, was it LT002? Go ahead and stick it down in the comments. There's no lamp for this, so I won't have any link in the description. But if you do have questions about your VAVA, go ahead and stick it down in the comments. I can't guarantee I'll know what to do, but hey, can't hurt to ask. I'll always do my best. So if you liked the video, go ahead and hit that upvote button, thumbs up, or whatever the heck they call it these days. But most importantly, thank you for watching.